didn't like that, did you?
Hi.
Can everyone say, ooh, wee, she's pretty? I think Mom wants a picture, right?
Correct, Mom.
Okay. Hurry up, there we go. Okay. Now, Monique was quite unique. One day, Pete left his home, his daughter, and his pizza business, and he went off to pizza school to learn how to make the perfect pizza. But before Pete left, he asked his daughter if there was anything she would like him to bring her.
Right, now she could have said a Barbie dream house or one of those Nintendo Game Boys or...
And she could have asked for any of that, but she didn't.
She did.
Monique simply said, "Bring me back a rose, Father." You see that?
Blue like a rose.
Hey, have a hand for Monique, everybody. Good job. That was good.
We're shaking hands. Okay, Lolo, this time we want you to put more acting and more feeling into it. This time, say it like this.
Bring me back a rose, Father. Bring back a rose.
Good, have another hand for Monique, everybody.
That's what I have to say tonight. Okay, Pete, say goodbye to your daughter. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ciao, baby.
Pete started off on his journey to pizza school. Come on, Pete, put on your seatbelt.
Okay, here's how we really need the doll. Everybody, hold the door. I'm saying it fast. Thank you. Come on. Okay.
For Rose, there was a beautiful rose bush, yes? And he's sitting in our audience right here.
Oh,
come on, Rose.
Yes, come.
Teacher in a hooded cape.
Oh, look, Peter's Little Red Riding Hood. I love this story. All of them river and through the woods of Grandma's house.
It wasn't Little Red Riding Hood. It was one of the boys from the hood. No. It was simply a man.
A man? How can Pete tell it was a man?
Well, because the hooded man growled. Can you growl?
Growl.
Whoa! Pete was so scared that he shaked.
Shake, Pete, shake. You're scared. Shake. Shake, not convulse.
The hooded man said, "Who said you could steal my rose? Naughty, naughty, Pete. I'm going to throw you in the dungeon and make you eat anchovies all day and night. Ha, ha, ha. Can you say ha, ha, ha?
Okay, now Pete, get on your knees and hands like this and beg for forgiveness' sake.
Well, the hooded man thought for a second and decided he would not throw Pete in the dungeon on one condition.
What condition?
He said, "You stole the rose for your daughter, huh? Why don't you bring your daughter here to meet me? Ha, ha, ha. Can you once again say ha, ha, ha? Pretty scary there, so Pete promised.
Say, I promise, Pete.
I promise.
Promising young man.
With that, the hooded man went into his castle.
Yes, and with that, Pete got back into his Pontiac and drove home. Jump in your car, Pete.
You can relax now.
Put on your seatbelt.
Now, Pete, she's got the rose, doesn't she?
That he stole.
Tis. And Pete told her about the hooded man.
And it wasn't little. It was.
Wish.
Have we lost control yet? I think so.
That's the commercial they have out now.
Yes. Well, the hooded man wasn't Little Red Riding Hood.
No, but Pete told her about the promise that he made. So they both piled into Pete's purple Pontiac, and away they went to the hooded man's house. Monique, come on up here on the passenger side, okay?
Pete, you can in the driver's side, and us kids
right here, we'll get in the back, okay?
Daddy, yeah, get in the bathroom. Don't touch me, you stick up my back. Daddy, McDonald's, can we stop your daddy?
on my side.
Sound familiar? Okay, Pete, you're losing balance, Pete. What do you have to drink? You made a promise. Now say goodbye to your daughter, okay? Say goodbye to your father.
Say goodbye, Pete. He's going to be a good stunt actor someday. Now, Monique looked all around for the hooded man, but the hooded man was nowhere to be found. She went inside the hooded man's house to see if he was in there, but all that she found was
a big table full of beautiful presents. And look, Monique, this one says from the hooded man to Montague.
That's Monique, not Montague. Next to the table covered with pretty presents, there was a marvelous table
full of delicious foods. And look, Monique, they're low in saturated fats. Come on over here. Bring muffins. Oh, my goodness.
Monique was hungry, so she ate to her heart's content. Now, after eating everything on the table,
she brushed and flossed her teeth.
Yes, she brushed and flossed her teeth. And after brushing and flossing her teeth, she waited for her father to do a tap dance. And then she waited for the hooded man to arrive. She waited, and waited. Monique became very lonely. Now, Monique, you're lonely, right? Because you have no one to talk to. Can you say, "Woe is me. Woe is me"? Good job, Monique.
Well, suddenly, guess who appeared? The hooded man.
The hooded man.
Monique was so happy to see the hooded man that she smiled and showed all her curly off whites.
And the hooded man was so happy to see this nice big smile that he took off his hood to get a better look. Ah!
Oh my goodness, look, he's a nerd. He's a real geek.
Well, that's exactly what Monique said, but then she remembered how lonely she had been.
Yeah, remember how lonely you were?
And how kind the geek had been to her.
And all those nice gifts and foods and those saturated fats.
Monique decided that even though he may look like a geek, there's no reason to be afraid of him. In fact, the more she looked at him, the more she decided, hey, he's kind of radical. So they became good friends.
Yes, and every day at 12, my life. Yes, every day at 12 noon, Monique and the geek would take walks in the parks together. They would walk and talk and play board games and finger paint and... Anyway, one day the geek did not show up at his normal time, and well, Monique became very worried, and she cried for the geek and said, Hokey, where are you?
Hey, Hokey, where are you?
Okay, she's so enthusiastic, that's great. Okay, we're gonna go look for the geek. If you see him, make sure you tell us, okay? Oh, geek! Where is he? Where's the geek at? Oh, there he is. Okay, come on over here, Monique.
Yes, Monique saw the geek standing by the rose bush, but he looked very sick.
Yes, he looks like he needs water or something.
No, not him, the geek.
Oh, yes, he looks like he's gonna die.
Monique felt so much sorrow that she threw herself on the ground like this. Like this. Like that. he fell. and all right, she stood there and she said, oh geek, don't die.
Oh, yeah, where?
and then she said, get this one right because it's very important, okay? She said, I was beginning to love you so much. Suddenly, audience, there was a huge crash of thunder. Kaboom! And the nerdy geek turned into, at long last, a handsome young prince. I
have all your albums.
You see, do you think it's the harvest moon?
Yes.
What had happened was a mean old witch had placed a spell on the prince, turning him into a geek, and he could not turn back into a prince unless a maiden of her own accord declared that she loved him.
Aw, maiden driving her own accord. That's good. So what happens now? Do they get married or what?
What do you say, audience? You think they should get married?
Why not? What else can go wrong in this show?
Well, if you're going to get married, then one of you needs to propose. Now, who's it going to be? Do you want to get married?
Well, just at that time, guess who came stumbling by? But Pete the Pizza. Okay, he right here. And he was on his way to New Jersey to buy wholesale tomatoes for his pizza.
Thank you. That's my favorite line. Can everyone say stop, Pete, pull over, etc.? Pete, pull over. Thank you.
Listen well.
Monique told her father about how the hooded man was a geek, but really a prince, and that they were now engaged. And so to celebrate, they all piled into Pete's purple Pontiac and propelled themselves on a preposterous pace to Pete's Pizza Palace, where they all partook of the perfect pizza.
With pepperoni.
And pineapple.
And peanut.
And pistachios.
And pickle.
And pomegranate.
Papaya.
Papaya, please. And that is the story of Beauty and the Geek. Have an immense hand for our actors today. Take a bow, everybody.
Take a bow.
Take a bow.
And now for the real stars of our show.
The kids. Yes.